All right, shalom, shalom. This is Brother Kashakwala coming back at you with another lesson, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Achakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, to rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. This is Brother Kashakwala coming back at you with another lesson from the GMS Atlanta Church here in Georgia. What I'm going to get into today, all right, is how a divided kingdom will not stand. And you know the precepts that I'm going to bring out. And we know that it's talking about Esau. All right, we know it's talking about Esau. So without further ado, I'm going to do Matthew 12 and 25. It says, "And Yahushai knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or divided, every city or house divided against itself shall not stand." Correct. So let's go ahead and get that word divided in the Greek. It's a merizo, all right, and it means to divide and separate into parts, to cut in pieces, to divide into parties, to be split into factions. Okay, you can already see that within the government of the United States. You know, you have your Democrats, Republicans, you know, your liberals, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But there's so many divisions and factions and cliques just in the midst of one kingdom, okay? Just in the midst of one kingdom, let alone everywhere else in the world. All right, you got so-called allies with America and these other nations, and they really don't come to a full agreement with one another before they're divided. They got two separate thoughts, all right? It's almost like they believe in two separate entities. All right, so here's the word divide in the Google definition. It means to separate or be separated into parts. It says disagree or cause to disagree. That's what the word divide means. And these Edomites, these different dukes of Edom, are in disagreement with one another. And there's one thing Esau does. I'm sorry. There's one thing Esau is very incapable of doing. And probably it's impossible of doing. I think it's impossible of him doing. And that's him to share. He doesn't know how to share. And unlike Yahweh Shai, that's why we got in the book of Romans that we're going to be joint heirs. He's going to share with his bros, the elect 144. And ultimately save all of Israel too. Okay? So the word share means a part or a portion of a larger amount which is divided among a number of people, or to which a number of people contribute. But this man Esau wants it all to himself. All the dukes of Edom, each duke of Edom, they want it all to themselves. Each tribe of Edom wants it to themselves. The Amalekites want it to themselves. So on and so forth when you read Genesis 36 chapter, when it goes into Esau's little generation or lineage. Okay? So they're divided on one another, meaning in disagreement, and the thing they cannot do is share. All right? So let's go back to what Yahweh Shai was saying. If you're divided and you don't know how to share, okay, then what's going to happen to you? It says, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall his kingdom stand? Exactly. For everyone who's divided or in disagreement with one another is brought to desolation, which desolation is like a destruction. Let's get that word desolation in the Greek. Okay? But there has to be a desolation. Just like it says in Matthew 24, it says all these things must come to pass. All right, when you go into the word "must" in the Greek, it means the Greek word for it is "die," and it means it ought to happen. These things must happen. It needs to happen. All right. So here for desolation it's eradmo, and it means what? To make desolate, lay waste, ruin, bring to desolation, despoil one, stripper of her treasures. That's stripper of her treasures is what? Is Revelation the 18th chapter. Simple and plain as that. Okay? Simple and plain as that. But through the mist, when the smoke clears, what's going to happen? This is Micah 4:1. It says, "But in the days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the mountain, on top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and the people shall flow into it." Correct. That mountain, meaning the government of the Lord, shall be established upon all these other governments. Hence why you got the book of Revelation where it says Yahweh Shai was seen wearing many crowns. Let's see if I can get that. Salakia. All right. So Revelation 19 and 12, it says, his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. But that point of the matter, it says, and on his head were many crowns. That means he subdued a whole bunch of nations and put his mountain on top of theirs. Okay? So it says, and it shall be exalted above the hills. Correct. Israel is going to be exalted in the kingdom of heaven. Okay? No other nation is going to be above us, and it's going to be like that forever and ever. Like it says in the book of Daniel, forever and ever and ever. All right? And also it says, and people shall flow into it. Correct. If people are flowing into it, that means there's always some type of income. There's always some type of gain. All right? There's tributaries. Simple. All right? And I'm going to show you what happens when when those nations don't want to flow into it. All right? Let's get Zechariah 14. Salakia, give me a second. One second. All right. This is so if they don't want to flow into Israel, this is what happens. This is Zechariah 14 and 16. It shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations which come against Israel shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth, Jerusalem, to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, even unto them, even upon them shall be no rain. So if they don't come up, well, guess what? We're gonna cease the rains and put you through a drought and make your lives miserable. Okay? Make your lives miserable. Ain't gonna be no winter, ain't gonna be no fall. It's gonna be summer, 180 million degrees every day. Okay? How about that? Since you don't want to come up and flow into Israel. That's how they get punished in the kingdom of heaven. We will stop the rains, okay, and still expect our first fruits from them. And if they don't get it, we're going to shove our foot all the way up their ass, man. Simple and plain as that, okay? Because you ain't got what you owe me. Simple. All right, verse 2, it says, and many nations shall come and say, come, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, which is the government, and to the house, and that's going to be switched around. Where we're not going to have to run and need, for the ones to get food and water, like it says in the curses. They're going to run, the curse is going to switch on them, like Deuteronomy 30th chapter says. They're going to run to us for all needs, okay? It says in the house of the Most High of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways. That's right. All these heathen nations are going to learn the law, statutes, and commandments, and they're going to love it. All right. It says, and will walk in his paths, for the law shall go forth to Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem, and he shall judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off. You see, afar off. We're gonna delegate people to carry out orders. All right, from afar off. I can be on another planet and delegate the Hamites on Earth to sit the fuck down. Crisscross applesauce, and them dummies will do it. Okay, it says, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Meaning it's going to be peace. All right, there ain't going to be no other nations divided against. No, number one is going to be established, which is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and the Israelites. Okay, and everybody else is going to be beneath that forever, for eternity. Simple and plain as that. There ain't going to be no more war. Y'all going to sit the fuck down and chill out. I'm speaking to the other nations. Simple. And y'all going to be in subjection to our authority, in our dominion, in our anarchy. Salakia, not anarchy, our monarchy. Okay? Simple and plain as that, man. So Satan is dividing himself against Satan. These Edomites and crackers are fighting against each other like some dumb fucks, not knowing that us men of the Lord who are on the highways and byways every weekend, or every day pretty much, doing a video every day, are the next up to rule. Okay? Simple and plain as that. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to 11144, first fruit. Until next time, I want to say shalom.